Thanks, Chairman Holland. Senator Fetterman of Pennsylvania is recognized.
Yes, I love that. All right. So it's great to be here with you today. Now, I don't know, maybe some people in America were talking about a cookie that was $18. And I was alarmed, and I hope we investigate that there is a cookie that cost $18. And do you believe that an anecdote on Twitter about a cookie that cost $18, is that reflective of our economy and where we're at or not?
I certainly hope not. I don't do much shopping these days, but that sounds like a pretty expensive cookie.
Yeah, and now, I believe that that the American economy now is the envy of the world after everything right now. Correct?
We are, yes, we're performing very well compared to our peer group.
Yeah, pretty great. And is it fair to say that the stock markets are all up at record highs? Right?
Pretty close.
Yeah, and inflation has been pretty effectively addressed. Right?
It's been coming down sharply since the middle of last year. Yes,
Yeah,
we've got a ways to go on that, but we've made a lot of progress.
And corporate profits are pretty robust. Is that fair?
I believe it is.
Okay. Well, we can agree that, and I don't understand why more people seem to be talking about a cookie that cost $18, but that seems to be against the evidence as well. But given that, now, since things are pretty great, and we're in a really great, excuse me one second, place, but now I am concerned, and there's rumors going around that Basel, they're going to change, and they're going to reducing the capital, and I guess I'm concerned about that because I don't know why we would want to, and also I want the record to reflect on you're much smarter than I am. But I would be concerned that things are in a really great place right now. We can all agree on that. I would be concerned to change something like that because I wouldn't want to have something, again, like what happened with SVB. And I just wanted to get your take on that.
Sure. So U.S. banks are well capitalized, and generally speaking, they're quite well capitalized. And we're not talking about reducing current capital levels at all. Really, in the Basel III endgame, capital may well go up. And what we're talking about is whether the proposal that was put out by the bank regulatory agencies, including the Fed, and which has now been the subject of quite a lot of comment, whether, what changes will be appropriate to that. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about reducing existing capital requirements.
Oh, okay. Well, and then I also want to play off of a comment made by my colleague from Tennessee, and I actually agreed with him. And he's concerned about the deficit, about it's $1 trillion for every $100 days. So now, if the federal government had added $3.5 trillion to the deficit by extending the Trump tax cuts, would that increase or decrease inflation?
So I'm going to fall back on our long-time reluctance to comment on fiscal policy. We take your fiscal policy decisions, whatever they may be, we take them as they are, and we conduct monetary policy to achieve 2% inflation. But we don't score inflation. CBO does that; they'll make a judgment on that. But it's not something we do because we're an independent agency, and that requires us to stay the heck out of politics.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, but would those kind of tax cuts would that help addressing inflation or inflame inflation?
I don't know what the effects would be on inflation. I do know, broadly speaking, we need to get to a place where revenues and spending are better aligned, and I think everybody knows that. And I think we used to talk about this a lot 10 years ago, and we're not talking about it so much anymore. That's understandable. The pandemic was a special thing, but I do think it would be great to get back to that on a bipartisan basis.
Okay. Well, I have about 30 seconds left. I just want to go on the record. I think you've done a really great job. And I think our economy, and I do agree that it is the envy of the world as well. And I'm confused that more people are talking about cookies or McDonald's meals and those kinds of a thing. It's not reflective on the strength of this as well, too. And I just want to thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.